Welcome to the temple of your life, where we kind of reclaim ordinary, everyday experience as the domain of the sacred. And I've been thinking lately about how much I love movies, plays, live music, recorded music, and how I used to feel kind of embarrassed by liking movies and TV, streaming TV shows. And I no longer do, because so much care and so much heart goes into creating these works of media that make meaning in our lives. You know how when you're just brought to tears by a song that you hear or sing, or a scene in a movie that deeply moves you, and that feeling of wanting to cry or crying, to me, is evidence of the sacred breaking through the ordinary. I can think of 1,000 examples, and so could you, but maybe I'll share a recent one with you. Gangaras and I watched the movie Sing Sing, about the notorious federal men's prison. And in this film, fairly recent, within the last couple of years, I think it was made, the incarcerated people there's a group of them that do theater, and they put on plays. And this movie is about the play that they're writing and producing and performing, and all that it brings up in the community of men who are putting on this production. And I must have cried like 4 or 5 times in this movie. And to me, that was holy. It was like entering into a church and hearing a hymn and being brought to my knees by the beauty and spiritual power of that hymn. But the whole film was that exalted offering. I was thinking also about a friend of ours, dear old friend of ours in Mexico, who came to visit us last winter in Bacalar, where we often spend a couple of months of the winter in the Yucatan. And he brought his 20-year-old son and his son's boyfriend. And we were sitting around having lunch, and something they said reminded me of a song that I wanted to play for them. So I played it on my iPhone. And the song is called Call Me By My True Names, which comes from a Thich Nhat Hanh quote, from a Thich Nhat Hanh poem. Beautiful song. And so I was playing it, and I was just sort of looking down, and as I was playing the song and entering into the beauty of the lyrics and the melody and the rhythm and the whole production. And I glanced over at my friend's son, and he was weeping, just listening to the poetry of this song, and what it stirred in him, as a queer Mexican man, young man, and how it spoke to his true heart. And it just reminded me of the power of all the arts. But I'm thinking right now particularly of music, theater, film, TV, and the meaning makers behind those offerings. Deep bow to those holy people who create these works of art that crack open our hearts. So what are some of your spaces of opening in response to what's otherwise known as entertainment?